Alright, got my ghost today. Sourhead Watermelon. Shout out to Jayhawk, follow him on YouTube and Instagram. His videos, his edits, him having ghosts in every video, for some reason it sold me. And I just like the look of everything, so you know what, go ahead and give him a like, subscribe, comment, stuff like that. But hey, shout out to him, he kind of got me into ghosts. This video today, guys, I actually want to talk about 2 simple steps to consider before creating your next commercial shoot or preparing for your next commercial shoot. With that being said, we're going to talk about 1, building a questionnaire and why it's important / consultation, and 2 is creating a shoot brief. All right, guys. So first thing I want to talk about is the questionnaire, right? So a questionnaire is important because it allows the videographer to gather information about the project before the project is created or started, right? You can't just go out there, creating anything for this client, right? You don't know what their needs are, you don't know what their budget is, you don't know the timeline, you want to know all the details before diving in to, capturing their video, their photo, whatever service or product they need captured, right? Step 1, you got to understand the client's needs, right? A questionnaire helps us understand the client's needs and objectives for the video. This can include the purpose of the video, the target audience, and the overall message that the client wants to convey. You're pretty much, becoming a marketer, right? Yeah, that's why people in the photo and video industry sometimes, reach out to other businesses because, that's the game plan. All these businesses need photography and videography in some sort of shape or form, either through their website or through, through news articles, social media. That's a big one. So some questions I actually ask my clients is 1, what is your budget and timeline for your marketing efforts? What is the overall goal of the project? What is the intended use for the photos and videos? Social media, website, email, paid advertising. Who is your target audience and what are their needs and preferences? How do you differentiate yourself from others? Do you want any graphics or textography to be shown in the video? Do you need any recorded audio? Will there be any talent involved? Right? So all these questions you pretty much need answered to build what you're going to create, to build your invoice. You as a creative got to figure out who their target audience is and how you're going to create something to reach out to that target audience, right? I mean, it's a lot of planning, guys. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of detail-oriented, things that you need to keep track of. But hey, I mean, the questionnaire actually is a big help, I believe, during that consultation with your clientele. And you got to gather so much information because you and your team got to figure out what you're going to create and how you're going to reach that target, right? And you want it to be successful, of course, right? That's the only way. Your video and photo has to be so successful because if it's not, then that client won't hire you, will probably not hire you back. So you definitely want to make sure you're creating something high quality that works, right? So you might want to measure how much engagement your photo or video is getting, like on social media or website and stuff like that. That's actually a big help. And if you can actually prove that your content is working, then that's a big step into getting more and more businesses to reach out to and to work with. So that's actually, if you could actually get that down, by all means, good stuff, guys, good stuff. So 2, the next thing I want to do is talk about is plan the shoot. The information gathered in the questionnaire can be used to plan the shoot effectively. For example, the questionnaire may provide information about the location, lighting, or sound requirements that need to be taken into consideration, right? So you and your team, after getting all this information, whoever's doing the consultation, you're going to come together with your team. You're going to discuss, okay, what do we got to do? What should we create to hit all these points, right? Or to hit this target audience, or to make sure we're staying in budget. What are we going to do with this talent, right? So you definitely want to have a good meeting with your team to plan what's going to happen during the shoot. right? Next, ensure that the shoot meets the client's expectations. By gathering information about the client's expectations, the videographer can ensure that the final product meets those expectations. This can help to avoid any miscommunications or misunderstanding that may arise during the shoot. Like I said earlier, like your shoot definitely wants to be that high standard, high quality, and you want to make sure it works, right? Lastly, provide a reference point. The questionnaire serves as a reference point for the videographer throughout the shoot. This can help to ensure that the shoot stays on track and that the final product meets the initial goals and objectives, right? So as a videographer or a director, you want to make sure you guys are staying on point pretty much, and that's what this questionnaire is about. And that kind of segues into the shoot brief. So after you're getting this questionnaire, you did the consultation, you have the details, you plan the shoot. Now you're like, okay, now we're gonna create a shoot brief. And what's so good about a shoot brief and why it's important is because it serves as a blueprint or guide for a photo shoot or video shoot. It outlines the creative vision, objectives, and technical requirements for the shoot, providing a clear direction for everyone involved in the process. So with this shoot brief, you're basically creating a PowerPoint. You're creating a PowerPoint of the first page being, the date of the shoot, what's going to be involved in that shoot, like as far as like how long the video is, how much images you're planning to give the client, stuff like that. Next page, you actually want to add the scenario. So now in one or two sentences, usually I just do one sentence because I want it to be as simple as possible for our clients to understand what they're receiving. So in the scenario, you want to just add one sentence of what you're capturing, right? For instance, I actually want to show you guys a quick example. Cheka going through the process of making a piece for Sasha and Christian, portraying the love and emotion that goes behind the art. And this is the flower company that was, creating leis, lepo'os, headpieces, stuff like that. So we wanted to create more of an emotional type of scene, or like the process of her creating her leis, lepo'os, and picking flowers and such. So it's very simple, straight to the point. You want it as simple as possible, like I said, so the client could understand what you're getting at, right? Next, I actually want to talk about the key concepts, right? So key concepts is basically, it's not a shot list, it's just the key things that you want to capture. So for instance, with the flower company, right, we wanted to capture the picking, so the whole process. So the picking, then going into the weaving, then going into placing that piece on her friend's head, right? And then lastly, just capturing that piece by itself, on the head, doing poses of her friend. But that's the process, is picking, weaving, final piece. That's what we wanted to create for her. Nice and simple. The next thing you want to add on is your locations, right? Where are you planning to shoot? You don't have to put exact locations, but it's probably better to do so. We put, the location and just like what's happening in that location. We didn't put the exact location, but that's totally up to you. If you want to put the exact location, that's probably better. That way you and your client understand where exactly you guys are shooting. Even if you do like a scout and then you take a picture on your phone, you add that onto the PowerPoint, that's even better. Like I said, you want to be very professional. You want to know exactly what you're doing on the day of, so there's no hiccups. You want to make sure everything is flowing perfectly, right? So after locations, the next thing you're gonna add is the talent, right? You're gonna add the names of the talent. If you want to add how old they are, what gender they are, that's even better. Then you have an exact idea of what this person is, who they are. If you want to be more specific and add height, weight, by all means, go ahead. That's the more information you have, the better. The better it is to plan, the better it is to shoot. Everything is just a lot more, like I said, ease, right? You want to add the talent, the wardrobe, and such as like what are they gonna wear, on the day of. Next thing I want to talk about is the shot list. So that's where you want to be kind of specific, not really, but still kind of simple for your client to understand what we're capturing, right? So for instance, for this flower company, in our shot list, we added one, picking flowers, right? So action of Cheka picking flowers, and then a post shot of Cheka picking flowers. And then under that, we put some creative and abstract column, and then we put experiment with background slash foreground, experiment with lighting slash textures, additional creative shots. Right, the next box we're gonna go over is the weaving. What do we want to capture during the weaving? Is action. So checker weaving in the ocean, some pose shots of checker weaving in the ocean, action shots of checker weaving at the park, pose shots of checker weaving at the park, and then some lifestyle shots of some posed, emotional enjoyment type reactions that we want to capture. And then lastly is the final piece. We want to make sure we're getting some wide angles, horizontal and vertical shots. Then we're going to capture the piece by itself, action shots of the talent putting on the piece, full shots of the talent with the piece, and some wide shots of the piece and close-ups of the piece. So it's nice and simple. You know, it's understandable for the client, but also understandable for us. You know, me and my crew, we like to keep it as simple as possible. But this is just a general idea to keep us on track and making sure we're checking off the boxes, right? And then the last thing I actually want to talk about is a mood board. So I actually started creating a mood board for a bowl. A mood board is basically, right, like a color theme, or if you want to add like photos that pretty much inspire you for this type of shoot. Or if you want to add a video, you know, other YouTube videos that inspire you to create. That's what a mood board is, and I think that's really good. That way your clients have an idea of the type of video you're going to create, or the type of shots you're going to capture, the type of angles you're going to get. It's not going to be exact, of course. You don't want to, you know, for sure copy a different video or another photo for sure, but you want to actually have that mood board in mind, so you have an idea of what you're going to capture, pretty much, if that makes sense. Like I said, that is the two simple steps I think is the best way to prepare yourself to capture commercial type photography and videography. Again, it's worked for me and my team. I hope it works for you folks. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Anyways, love you guys. Peace.